Welcome to everyone, businessmen and women and individuals who want to start a new career in website development. Although this training is dedicated to small business owners, nonetheless, anyone who is interested in starting a new career in web development can actually take the training. So I want to say congratulations for signing up, and I promise you that if you can follow all the lessons that I've packed into this training, definitely, 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 you will be a pro in designing websites of any type at the end of this training. So let's go into the training. This is lesson 1, where I introduce you to what we mean by website design and development. I want to believe that you are a novice in this profession. So I'm going to take you by the hand like I promised in the advert. I'm going to take you by the hand like someone who do not know anything. So I'm going to take everything step by step. Now let's go into lesson 1, Introduction to Website Design and Development by Bolaji James. Lesson 1 of the comprehensive web design masterclass for small business owners. Now, what is website design? That is the first question that comes to mind. But then, for us to be able to define website design, then we need to know what website is all about and what design is all about. So, for us to be able to define what website design is. So, what is a website then? Website refers to series of interconnected and interrelated web pages that is owned and managed by either a person or organization. What do we mean? Another strong term just came in from there: web pages. What are web pages? Okay, so that we get it clearly. Now, a web page is any page of document. Just like you create document, or let's say a chat that you want to send to somebody on WhatsApp is a document. A document that you prepare with your Microsoft Office Word on your system is a document. You prepare it with WPS on your phone or whatever, so it's a document. The only difference is that the one we call web page is available on the internet and anyone around the world can actually access it, whereas the other document that is on your system is only available to you on your phone, your system, and only you can access it, except you share with somebody either through Bluetooth, through other share file sharing app or whatever means. So, but when we say it's a web page, it's a document that is accessible on the internet through an address. It will contain text, it will contain the images, it will contain sound, video, or any other digital asset. That is a web page. So when you have 2, 3, or 4 page of these pages that is owned by an organization that they are related and they are connected, their address are linked together, we refer to it as a website. So now that we have the idea of what a website is, and of course I know design means to put something together in a visually appealing way. So now let's talk about website design. So what is website design? Web design refers to the creative process. Take note of that. Creative process. So it's creative. It's not something that you just do anyhow. It's creative because when you are doing it for somebody, not for yourself. You are doing it so that people will come and visit that website. And when they come there, you are praying or you are expecting that they will love it and they will want to come back over and over again. So it's the creative process of putting together contents that are displayed on the internet. It usually refers to the user experience aspect. So that's what I just meant, is you're talking about the user. The user is the number one priority when you are making a website. So it always refers to the user experience aspect of website development rather than software development. You are thinking of what would these people like. Okay, I own a shop and I'm selling online. How should my shop look such that people will trust and they will drop their money? Okay, I'm a blogger. How should my website look so that people would like to come over and read their news from there? So that is what we mean by website design. What does a web designer do? I've just explained that in the last few sentences. A web designer works on the appearance, layout, and in some cases the content of a website. Appearance, for instance, relates to the color, the font, and images used. You must ensure, for instance, you cannot be building an e-commerce website where people will be coming to buy things, and then you are putting let's say images that is talking about learning, education, that be serious with your studies. They do not relate. So the images, the fonts, the layout, the colors, all those things must be put in place. They must be considered when you are building a website. The brand color, if somebody gives you a project, or you as a businessman that is taking this course, by the time you are starting, you must take note of your brand color, and those are the things you put into consideration when when you are applying colors to your website. All right, so let's move on. Qualities of a good web design: it should be easy to use. Imagine you going to a website and you want to sign up and you are looking for sign up. you know it's it's frustrating. You have read everything, you would like to sign up, it's appealing, it's good, but it's not easy to use. The sign up button is nowhere to be found. Maybe it's hidden somewhere. You have to take some procedures before you get there. So that is bad web design. It's not be easy to use. It should be aesthetically pleasing. At least it should be beautiful. It should be appealing to whoever. If it's a primary school website, it should suit those kids in primary school who will be visiting the website. They should love it. They should always want to visit the website, to see all those, maybe the basic animations and the rest that you have created on the website. All right, so website design used to be focused on designing websites for desktop browsers. That is, in those days people only focus on desktop browser, but nowadays, since the mid 2010s, designing websites for mobile devices has become a very important point of concern. As a matter of fact, we have discovered that about 80 to 90% of people visiting websites nowadays are coming from mobile devices. So when you are working on your website, always put the mobile aspect into consideration. How do you develop a website? Okay, this is a good course. I love this web design, the way you have explained it, I love it. Then how do you do it? Now, websites are generally written in programming languages. Did I scare you? All right, such as HTML, which means hypertext markup language, Java, Python, PHP, and so on and so forth. All right, in the past, you will need to have good knowledge of 2 or 3 of these languages. Especially for web development, you need HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. They are the most important language when it comes to website development. But the good news, with the advent of content management software, which we call CMS, individuals with little or no knowledge of these languages can now develop their own website. Did I just hear you scream? That is why you are here, because you will be able to build your own website without writing a single line of code. Of course, that was what I promised you in the advert that brought you here. Okay, so let's move on. Now, what is a CMS? A content management software is an application that enables users to easily create, publish, and edit digital content. This software takes away the burden of coding, thereby allowing users to focus on the visual aspects of their content. Examples include WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, Magento, and so on and so forth. So what we are saying is that this content management software will help you to do the coding. You put image somewhere, you say put this image on top of this other one and put this text beside it. Then once you have done that, the coding that will make it to work will be written at the back end. Isn't that amazing? That is a great relief. So you don't have to cram coding languages to use content management system. Now, WordPress, which is what we are concerned about in this training. WordPress WP is a free and open source content management software like we have talked about, which is written in PHP, and it is paired with a MySQL database, which allows user to create beautiful and responsive websites using drag and drop tools. Drag, take note of that. Drag and drop tools. So you just drag and drop. This is where I want this thing to be. This is where I want this one to be. Okay, it looks appealing to me now. Leave it like this, and then the coding is done at the back end for you. Okay, so that is WordPress for you. Now, WordPress does the coding job for you while you focus on the visual beauty of your content, thereby making it easy for almost anyone to create a website. Exciting, right? Yes. Note, WordPress powers over 43.1% of all websites on the internet. So if you visit 10 websites and then you decide to check them using a tool like isitwp.com, you find out that about 4 out of every 10 websites is made with WordPress. So that tells you that this course you are taking is actually bringing you into a global community of WordPress developers, people who create astonishing websites using WordPress. So you are joining them. Congratulations even for taking this course. All right, tools needed to put a website online. Generally, whether you are using content management system or whichever system, or you are coding it and you are a tech guru, no matter what you do, for you to be able to put a site online, like I told you earlier, that what make a web page different from the normal page is that this one is available on the internet. So you need to store it somewhere on the internet. So to make your pages accessible on the internet, you need a domain and hosting service. There is no way you can do that. You can't put anything and make it accessible to everyone on the internet without hosting it somewhere. All right, your image on your phone cannot be accessible to everybody on the internet except you put it on Facebook, and Facebook is hosted on a server on the internet. So that is how it works. Now, for this hosting and domain, let's talk about domain name. The first one, which is the domain name, is the address. Facebook.com, that is the domain for Facebook. And each time you enter into your browser, definitely the browser will bring information that is stored with that name. It will bring you the website, and then you can log in and do anything you want to do. Google.com. So there are over 7 billion people on earth, but everyone is addressed uniquely, and we all have a unique address. Therefore, we are usually called by our names and attached with our address. Every content on the internet has unique address by which it is called. This is also called the URL, Uniform Resource Locator. I believe your mind just flashed back to primary or secondary school. So we were taught that. All right, so you need to get a unique uniform resource locator that people can use to access your file. Then once you've done that, you will now put it, just like you have bought you have gotten a name. Then once you have a name, that doesn't give you a land for free. So you need to buy a land too. You need to buy a land, all right? So, and that is what we call the hosting service. Because your own computer cannot run 24/7 on the internet, there are people who put their own computers online 24/7, just like the server image you are seeing here. So they have these servers, we call them servers. They save your files on it for you. You pay them a certain amount so that anytime anybody calls for your file by dialing your URL, by putting your URL in their browser, this file that you have saved with these guys will be made available to that person. You get the logic now. So you store your file, the information about your business or whatever you are doing, you put it with an hosting company, then you give a specific name that anytime they call this name, help me show this file to them. That is it. So that is how it works. You need to get hosting and domain. All right. So things to consider when choosing hosting service. Of course, you know that any service that is being sold, it is not only one person that is doing it. A lot of people are selling hosting and domain, and you need to be careful so you don't buy the one that will frustrate your life. Okay, so what are those things you should consider when you want to buy hosting and domain? I am your tutor. I've been in this line. I have some experience, and so I will tell you some factors to consider, and I've listed 4 in this training. The first one here is uptime. The word uptime here is talking about how long your site stays online. Does it go offline? Because if it is called a website, then it should be accessible on the internet always. So you shouldn't buy hosting company that will not be different from your personal computer. You know, people are trying to reach your website and it is not accessible. Your files are down. So why not just put it on your system instead? All right. So uptime refers to the amount of time a website is online over a period of time. The next thing you need to consider is the speed or load time. The second major factor to consider is the time it takes for a web page to load. Similar to uptime, your page load time affects how much traffic your website will get. Traffic means the number of people visiting your website. A study by Google revealed that 53% of mobile site visitors leave if it takes more than 3 seconds to load a page. I'm sure you have experienced that before. So you are trying to visit your website and it's not loading for over 5 seconds, 3 seconds. I know you will just, press the back button and exit it, except if it's an important website, maybe that will bring you money or is very dear to your life. You have to wait. Okay, so but normally it should load fast. The next key factor is the support. As a web developer, one of the most frustrating things in life is lacking help when you need it most. You are working on a site and then you are looking for help. Maybe you are going through some difficulty and there is no support. So you must ensure that the hosting company that you are choosing is your paddy, is your buddy, providing you support whenever you need it. So if you have trusted someone so much that you keep your website files with them, then they should be supportive and available at all time. Lastly is security. The fourth factor to be considered is security. I'm sure if you have invested in creating a website and trust a company well enough to keep your files with them, you will expect them to ensure the safety of your files. Isn't that the real thing? Okay, so this is where security comes in. Your web hosting company should be secured against attack and hackers. They should possess all that is needed to generate the safety, to guarantee the safety of your files. I know you are thinking right now, okay, which hosting should I choose as a beginner? Right, it all depends. So for this training, I've determined and I've decided the one we're going to use because I'm your tutor and I'm going to show you the one to use that will ease everything and make things easy for you. All right, and that is what we'll be discussing in lesson number 2. Congratulations once again. Let's move on to lesson 2.